let's go straight into this tweet from one of our panelists, Jeffrey Rath. Give me a second for my computer to catch up to my brain.
Sometimes we're painfully live.
Yeah.
That's okay. What kind of, I'm interested to see what kind of mischief I've gotten up to now.
You know what? That's it. That's you on X, isn't it? This is actually a video from you where you explain that Alberta sends 70 billion to Ottawa annually. We get back 20 billion. That's 50 billion stolen every year for what? National defense? Yeah, where? We hide under the US security umbrella while Carney insults them. Let's watch this clip from you.
Is that the Alberta taxpayers and Albertans, including CPP and UI, we send $70 billion a year to Ottawa, right? Every year, $70 billion a year. We get less than $20 billion a year back in federal transfers and federal services, including CPP and UI. Like, we are being robbed blind by this country. How many people in Alberta or in Canada actually think we have a national defense, right? It's a joke. Like, so what are we paying for? As Albertans, we're not paying to be defended nationally. We've been hiding under the American security umbrella forever. While thumbing, and now Carney's thumbing his nose at the U.S. I mean, we're literally the worst neighbors in history when it comes to like how the Canadian government is now treating the U.S. I mean, like, what kind of country is this anymore? Well, and what that document shows.
Okay, let's go to Jeff on that. I'll get your comments on, I guess, your own comments, but you are frequently in the United States advocating for Alberta's interests there. What's the reception you're getting? Yeah, I mean, don't tell tales out of school. You know, like, I realize.
No, but the reception's fantastic. I mean, I'm literally in touch with them every week now, and they are very, very interested in a free and independent Alberta. They see it as being in the U.S. national interest. They agree with us that a free and independent Alberta doubling its oil production is going to do nothing but help the United States and Alberta. And they want to see Alberta and Alberta resources taken out from underneath the control of communist China and communist China dominated Ottawa. I mean, that's how we look at it. I mean, there isn't a single policy that the Trudeau Liberals or Mark Carney has put forward with regard to Western oil and gas that doesn't benefit the communist Chinese. Locking in Alberta resources helps China. It doesn't help anybody else. It weakens the Western alliance. You know, it's all part of, the Chinese doctrine of asymmetrical warfare, which we all know about. I mean, why are they flooding North America with fentanyl? Why is Mark Carney basically turning a blind eye to fentanyl precursor chemicals coming into Canada? It's all part of the ongoing Chinese government effort to weaken Western society from within. We all know it. The only people that pretend not to know it are in Ottawa.
I'll go to Brad. Brad, the the Saskatchewan Prosperity Project, you guys are just sort of getting off the ground. I sense that Saskatchewan residents, or Saskies, if you will, are, I think, at least as inclined towards separation or independence as your Alberta friends are. Like so many things, you're just a lot quieter about it than we are. What's the sense for you on the ground as you're sort of starting to build an official movement?
Well, people are frustrated. You know, I think we share a lot of the same sentiments that Alberta has. We've been paying more than what we're getting back. And I think a lot of our population is still blind to that. They don't realize just how much we actually send to Ottawa in the form of all the different taxes and how we get so little back. We're working on our numbers. I've got a team working on that right now because we want to be accurate in everything that we do. And, being the 3 last town halls I've done the last 3 days, the people are excited that there's somebody that's going to actually start building something here because we want to catch up to Alberta and we want to be right in their back pocket when they leave.
Well, sure, because Saskatchewan and Alberta are twin sisters that were cruelly separated at birth by the federal government. And I think that it's fair to mention that if Saskatchewan and Alberta paired up, if we rejoined, we would have amongst the biggest, busiest economies in the world? We would be rich beyond our wildest dreams if only we could get rid of Ottawa and their crazy spending habits. So, Brad Williams. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
It's not just their spending habits. I mean, this is one of the things that we've been really annoyed about Danielle Smith over is, this focus on, we're going to get a pipeline. We're going to get a pipeline. And instead she got this, I call it now a memorandum of underachievement, where we're getting, she's gotten nothing more than she had 6 months ago, which is a vague promise that some point in the future, Carney will greenlight a pipeline, provided BC and BC Indigenous nations that EB's already riled up don't exercise some sort of veto. So she has nothing to show for it. And as far as we're concerned, the only path forward is for the government of Alberta to immediately go down to Washington the way we've been doing and start talking to Washington about building pipeline crossings, south across the U.S. border into Washington state, the same way Nutrien is now going to be shipping potash out of Washington ports. Alberta needs to be doing the same thing. And I can tell you from our meetings in Washington that Alberta would be welcome with open arms. So everybody's so concerned about having a captive market on the Gulf Coast in Texas. There's no reason that we couldn't get a pipeline, to the west coast of Washington state, or alternatively start rerouting tanker cars full of oil to the west coast of Washington state. Either way, I mean, to hell with BC, boycott BC, and then let's stop every truck coming through Alberta on its way to Ontario from British Columbia and see how they like it. It's the time now. But Danielle doesn't have the guts to do it. Instead, she keeps thinking that her buddy Mark, she calls him Mark, Mark's going to give me something really good. She doesn't know, or is too silly to figure out, that Nenshi has a far tighter relationship. This is the leader of the Alberta NDP, for those of you in Saskatchewan who don't follow Alberta's communist politics. So the leader of the NDP in Alberta was a card-carrying Liberal when he was mayor of Calgary. He effected a reverse takeover of the Alberta NDP on behalf of the Liberal Party of Canada. And if you don't think that the communist EB in Saskatchewan, the communist Nenshi in Alberta, and the communist Carney in Ottawa aren't concocting all of this together, and they're not just laughing up their sleeves at how foolish they're making Danielle look and how weak they're making her look, you're not paying attention.